Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Allen wins Art Rooney Sportsmanship Award. Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen was selected as the winner of the 2024 Art Rooney Sportsmanship Award, presented to a player for his outstanding sportsmanship on the field. The award was created in 2014 and named after Art Rooney Sr., the Steelers' founder. Art Rooney is an iconic figure in NFL history, said NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell at the time the award was introduced. It is appropriate that we honor his legacy in this way and recognize NFL players for one of the important values that Mr. Rooney represented so well. Each team nominated one player, and 8 finalists were selected by members of the NFL Legends community. The final vote was part of the 2024 Pro Bowl games ballot voted on by players league-wide. Allen was announced as the winner as a part of the NFL Honors Awards show in New Orleans. He will receive a $25,000 donation from the NFL Foundation to the charity of his choice. The award represents the role that sportsmanship plays in the game and that those who demonstrate integrity and honor on the field are role models for other players. It is gratifying that sportsmanship is the category, said Steelers president Art Rooney II when the award was first announced. It's appropriate. I like to think of my grandfather as someone who truly was a good sport, somebody who cared about the respect and the integrity of the game. The fact it's being voted on by the players, well, the recipient can feel good about it because it's voted on by his peers. The Cleveland Browns could lose several veterans this offseason. Myles Garrett's trade request has enraged the fan base, and it's difficult to envision a positive outcome in the short term. Recently, star CB Denzel Ward admitted that he would question his future with the organization if they traded Garrett. With that in mind, NFL analyst Matt Fontana predicted that the Browns would lose 3 other veterans if that happened. He took to X to claim that if the Browns lose Garrett and Ward, Joel Bitonio will retire, Wyatt Teller will leave, and the team will also choose to trade Grant Delpit. Of course, there is a case to be made that all of these players would be better off elsewhere. As great as Bitonio has been in his career, he's inching closer to the end. Teller's salary is pretty high, and Delpit hasn't been as efficient as expected. Nevertheless, that's beyond the point. The Browns could take this as an opportunity to hit the drawing board and get younger, cheaper, and better for the future. That means being bad for a couple of years and letting their best players go, but it might be the only way to get back to playoff contention. Whatever the case, the only thing this team can't do is drag out this situation. They must capitalize on their assets while they still can, especially with the NFL draft just a couple of months away. Antonio Brown says he blew $100 million in career earnings and has filed for bankruptcy. Star former NFL receiver Antonio Brown's off-field behavior has been the source of widespread speculation and concern in the years leading up to and following his 2021 retirement, often displaying erratic behavior on social media while embroiling in acute legal and financial concerns. Brown appeared on the One Night with Steiny podcast Monday afternoon and shed further light on his financial woes over the past half-decade, revealing that he spent the entirety of his, speculated, $100 million career earnings. "I think I made $100 million if you count off the field and everything," Brown said to Full Send personality Mark Steiny. "Well, I just filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy. I spent all of it, I blew all of it." Brown did assert that he dedicated an undisclosed portion of his career earnings toward long-term financial stability for his family. "I just had my financial people in my life, they just took the money I made in the NFL and didn't make it mine no more. They put it away for my family generation and trust and just threw it out there. So whatever I made in football, I just saved it for my family." Brown walked away from the NFL with just over $80 million in career earnings, but as the longtime Steelers wideout indicated, he also made considerable earnings in off-field endorsements as one of the NFL's premier players through the 2010s. The Florida native compiled 6 straight seasons with at least 1,250 receiving yards, a stretch that included 4 first-team All-Pro selections along with NFL receiving crowns in 2014 and 2017. During this stretch, however, Brown also sustained an infamous hit from Vontaze Burfict, and the final years of his NFL career were marred with locker room discord and public displays of erratic behavior. Brown's behavior has been commonly and irreverently linked to a diagnosis of CTE, which can only be diagnosed after death, but such behavioral concerns continued after retirement. The former player previously faced charges of domestic battery that were later dropped, and his ill-fated attempt at a return to football in the Arena Football League quickly flamed out after his Albany Empire, which Brown also co-owned, was kicked out of the league for failing to pay membership fees. The first leg of the pre-draft process, with the All-Star College practices and games, has been completed. There was a dearth of head-turning performances in each of the practice weeks of the East-West Shrine Game as well as the Reese's Senior Bowl. While the game performances may not hold as much weight as week-long work, the situational circumstances still can help evaluators get a read on a player's mettle and ability to perform in uncomfortable spots. Let's look at some of the players who helped and hurt their stocks in these week-long sessions. Brown's free agent, QB, says he would be interested in joining Steelers. The Cleveland Browns might not be interested or even able to retain Jameis Winston beyond this season. That's why the former number 1 pick has wasted no time during the offseason. Over the past week, he's already pitched himself to several teams, from the Tennessee Titans to the New York Giants. Now, in his latest appearance on Pardon My Take, the FSU great even claimed that he would love to play for the Pittsburgh Steelers. When asked about that, he claimed that even though he knows they have a rivalry with the Browns, he would absolutely love to play for head coach Mike Tomlin. "I love Pittsburgh. I admire Coach Mike Tomlin so much," Winston said. He also revealed that the very first Super Bowl ring he ever held was a 2009 Steelers championship ring. Then again, we should take his words with a grain of salt. No less than a minute later, he also stated that he would love to play for the Miami Dolphins even if he had to be a backup. It seems like Winston is just trying to stay in the league at this point. He's someone who's always going to say the right thing when cameras are on, and that's perfectly fine. He's never going to meet the hype and expectations that accompanied him when he entered the league. Winston is more suited to being a high-end backup than a starter at this point, and we experienced that firsthand last season. Hopefully, he'll get to prolong his NFL career for as long as he wants. And you, fan? What do you think of Jameis Winston's situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.